So grand rising, everybody. Thank you all for jumping on. As you hop on, do us a favor, drop that city and state to let us know where you are viewing us. My apologies. My mic came loose on. I'm gonna have to put out that mic because that mic keeps muting. So anyway, do me a favor, guys, that you jump on, drop your city and state. If you're gonna hang around, give us a like. If you're just gonna watch, then I'm not going to talk to this side. But drop the city and state, like the video, share the video. We're gonna be just talking about some things, and as I do that, I'm gonna be pressing some fans. But it's hump day. It's hump day, man. It's Wednesday. And for all the people out there who are business owners who conducting business, then you made it to the middle of the week. So once again, guys, this is the Blank Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And they say if you want something done right, you're gonna have to do it yourself. So give me a second. Let me get my phone. So I can show myself some love on TikTok. Give me a second. So if you see this video, make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. If you find value in the conversation, definitely let somebody know that we're out here. 1 second. Because sometimes you gotta support yourself, man. Sometimes you gotta support yourself. I always keep my phone just in case we don't get any love out there. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Barbara. Thanks. I don't think customers and our other small businesses realize just how important it is to get that type of support. People always talk about support in the form of buying stuff from somebody. That's not support, y'all. And y'all got to stop telling people thank you for your support. I mean, tell people what you want to tell them if you're doing a business. But the same people that think that they can support you by holding you up are going to be the same people that are going to think that if they remove that support, you're going to fall. Support comes with sharing and liking our content. That's the support. Everything else you're doing business, especially if you're a business owner. But anyway, enough of that. So I'm gonna be pressing some fans today. Today is hump day, man. So I want you guys to take some time, go to our site, which is theblankspot.com. You can see part of it back here. You'll see it when I press. And we got daily and weekly deals today. Of course, we got sales on our patches. Our patches are 15% off. Okay. But with that being said, there's a lot of things going on, man. Graduation season's right around the corner. Of course, we got Black History Month just right around the corner. This is for people who are in business. This is not for people who are just hanging around, but for people who are in business. You got Black History Month right around the corner. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. Mother's Day, Easter. You got graduations right around the corner. And man, y'all are losing and leaving money on the table. Leaving money on the table because a lot of people are afraid, unfortunately, to ask people for either pre-orders or advertise because you're thinking that, hey, don't nobody want my stuff. Somebody out there wants your stuff. You just have to go out there and actually do the work to get people in front of your content. So anyway, pressing some fans. We got an event this weekend, and it's funny, man, because I put that somewhere. Took that out. People are still selling fans. Did y'all know that? People are still buying fans. Did y'all know that? People still buying clack fans. I think a lot of people thought that the clack fan craze was going to go away, but it was already here well before the where them fans at and well before the boots on the ground whole deal. People were doing fans for memorials. People were doing fans for graduations. So I strongly encourage you that if you have a group of people, if you have a customer base, that you know that graduation season is around the corner, I strongly encourage you that you take advantage of that as well, because a lot of people are going to want these fans, if nothing more than for memories, right? Nothing more than for memories, and or if you got memorials going on, people use these fans to memorialize their loved ones as well. So that's a good thing as well. So these will never go out of style. It's just that I think that sometimes what ends up happening is, especially if you crafting, I think what ends up happening is there's a trend or there's a fad that's trending, and once that interest or that general interest dies down, once it stops being so popular, I think what happens is y'all stop advertising. I'll never stop advertising something that I sell. You know, that's just me though. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how that works, man. It's like we're waiting on somebody else to tell us what to sell next. The only thing that's stopping a lot of people from making money in this industry is that they won't focus, they won't find their target audience, therefore not focusing on who they're going to sell to. That's the only thing that's stopping a lot of people from making money in this industry. Whether you agree with it or not, that's your choice. But if you're making items, somebody want to buy something that you make. Instead of finding out what's selling, what's being desired, what ends up happening is we just go with the popular people and say, hey, you know what? This is what's going on. This is what's selling. This is what's trending. But these fans have been around well before we started selling. And not just these fans, but fans in general. I don't know if y'all remember, if y'all know, if you're actually doing crafting, every graduation, a crafter comes out and they're going to make a fan. One of those, what do they call it, church fans? They're making something like these church fans, man. And the crafters are doing that because it's easier for them to make with the equipment that they currently have. That's why they actually do that. So there's gonna always be a demand. There's gonna always be a demand for something like this. The question is, are you gonna be in the position to fulfill the demand? And unfortunately, I gotta say this, most crafters ain't gonna be in a position to do that because you're waiting on somebody else to tell you that, hey, this is what you ought to be selling. Anyway, so we got a lot of things going on. Once again, today, we got 15% off of our our patches. No minimum, no coupon needed. 15% off our patches. We got chenille patches, embroidery patches, and sequin patches. We actually got a deal every day, so it kind of helps you out. That if you're looking for something specific, you can shop with us every day. For the transfers that we sell screen print transfers. Let me keep on liking. I think this is the last day that I'm gonna go live on TikTok though. But we got screen print transfers, sublimation transfers. Screen print is both single and full color. We also have rhinestone transfers as well, and then of course the patches. And for those of you who don't know, we just created an ultimate business in the box. So that comes with like 25 t-shirts and 25 transfers. Stevie, Grand Rising, thanks for jumping on. Logo Zone, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate the love over there on YouTube. Thank y'all. Drop that city and state. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. Getting ready for a couple of events. We hit the road. We hit the ground running real hard in 2026, man. We ain't stopping. So it's like all gas, no brakes over here. But yeah. So graduation season. I guess I could talk about that for a minute because I don't know if you guys can see. I know you guys can see the mannequins that we have back here of the 3D shirts. Not really worried about these guys over here, man. I don't know what the love got lost over on TikTok, Steve, but it's gone. That love is gone. But we actually do outsourcing for 3D shirts. So not just for graduation, but for memorials, birthdays, anniversaries, things like that. So for all of the business owners, ask us about our B2B rates because that's going to be beneficial to you. If you want to sell 3D shirts, but you don't have the equipment and you want to, make you some money selling these shirts, then there's a couple of things that you can do. We have it set up on our custom side to where you can actually order a sample. And we have those samples, just like our vendors overseas, we have those samples set up to where you can order the samples and you can see the quality of the shirt. And also you can see the quality of the work. So for those of you out there who are looking for, you want to see a sample of a shirt, you want to see it in your hand, feel it, touch it, see the quality, see how it looks, then you can actually go to our custom site and order samples. If that's something that you're interested in, you can either comment sample, or you can message me sample. If you're on TikTok, you can message sample. I don't think crafters like paying for samples though. Am I wrong to say that? Oh yeah. I don't think crafters. Well, some business owners, I guess, don't like paying for samples either. But that's really the only way that you're gonna know if something works or not for you. You know what I'm saying? So anybody out there pay for samples? Anybody out there pay for samples? Steve said yes. Anybody out there pay for samples? Because I don't think a lot of people nowadays think they should pay for samples. I think they think that that business owners should provide that sample for free. And in a lot of cases, in some cases, I guess business owners do as a promotional, but that can get a little costly. Anybody out there pay for samples? Nobody over here talking. Okay, that's cool. Steve, you pay for samples? Or have you paid for samples before? Yeah, that's really the only way that you're going to know the quality of work. I hear people say all the time, well, not people who in this industry say that they don't want to outsource. They don't want to outsource because nobody can do the work like them. They might do it better than you. Never know. But yeah, samples are available if you want to see what the 3D shirts look like and how they feel. We're using our own sublimation paper, our own sublimation ink, and we're using our own sublimation shirts. So our shirts are 100% polyester with the cotton feel. And it's going to give you a great outcome. So yeah, I think it's going to be worth it. Imagine being able to sell graduation shirts to your customers and you don't even have to worry about making the shirt. One thing I did learn is that I did a quick survey And that's all I've really been doing as I've been posting. I've been doing like surveys, asking questions just to see. Logo Zone said yes, just to see what the temperature is of of the people that's following us. And Logo Zone, Steve, y'all on here. Thank y'all for jumping on. I appreciate it again. What I do is I ask questions just to see what people's minds are. People who say that they're business owners, I check them out and I say, hey, I want to know, what are you thinking? So I asked the question. I said, would you rather make the 3D shirt or would you rather sell it? Somebody said, most people said both, to be honest with you. Most people said they'd rather do both. And then my next question is, so if you rather do both, why aren't you? And what's stopping you? See, of course, I don't beg and ask you have samples. Sales, yeah. Samples are a great way to try. Just so certain samples, like we've given so back to that, Steve, we've given our samples away as far as our paper. We've done a couple of things. We've given paper samples away to try to get our paper out there. We paid for shipping and all that good stuff. And then we've also given sample transfers away. And we pay for that shipping as well. So it is a great way. But when you start talking about larger things like apparel's a little bit different. Apparel's a little bit different. We can ship those sample transfers out or the sample paper out, and we can actually ship it as what is it? Media. And media is much less expensive. But when we start talking about giving a sample away of a shirt that we are going to have, or giving a sample away of a cup or something like that, it begins to be costly. And I don't think a lot of people actually care. To be honest, it's not. I don't think they even try to understand, because a lot of people are not at that level. But anyway, I asked the question: would you rather, for anybody who wants to be able to get into this 3D and all over space, would you rather make them or would you rather sell them? And I asked that question for a reason, and I wasn't very clear on purpose, but I know for a fact that not everybody has the heat press this size. Y'all see this heat press? Not everybody has the heat press this size. There's also another heat press over to the other side. So if they're going to want to sell them, it would only make sense to have the right equipment to do it. But it's not just the heat press. When we're talking about the all over shirts, it's not just the heat press. A lot of people think, well, if I got the heat press, I can make them. It's not just the heat press, and it has nothing to do with design. That's the other misconception, that people think it's all about the design. You can buy a design from anywhere. People are selling designs on Etsy. You got to learn how to press it. You got to learn how to press it. And I think a lot of people think, well, if I just had the equipment, then I'm good to go. It took me probably about a year and a half, honestly. Maybe about 14, 15 months until I got comfortable enough to sell what I was actually doing. Because there's a lot that goes into prepping the shirt to be able to press it. There's a lot that goes into it. A lot of people don't know that. And of course, they don't know it because they haven't done it before. But there's a lot of people who, I guess, think highly of yourself, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But the truth of the matter is, anybody who has this equipment will tell you, if they're honest, they're going to tell you that it's more than just, designing the shirt. You have to actually understand how to stretch the shirt out. You got to learn how to stretch the shirt out. You got to learn how to make sure all the seams are in the right place. And you got to have your transfer or your image large enough to where it covers all the white. That's going to be important. A lot of people think that they're just going to come on here with their big heat press and press their shirts. That's why we offer the outsource support. So I'm gonna talk about that on another video in more detail, because I think this year we're gonna have a lot more people coming and saying, "Hey, you know what? We wanna get some shirts made. We want to resell these shirts." Yeah. Another thing is, I see a lot of crafters that are teaching people how to splice the images together. I don't know about you, but splicing for me, unless you're just doing it as a hobby or a craft, splicing images together is senseless. That's just my opinion. The combination of knowing how to leverage another company's ability is totally different. And a lot of new business owners or people who are just, side hustling, they don't understand leverage. So of course everybody want to do it themselves. Everybody want to do it just like they want to do it, and they thinking that they can do it the best. That's unfortunate, because a lot of y'all missing out on money. Do me a favor, man. Type a number 2 in the comments if you consider yourself to be a business owner. Also, if you haven't dropped your city and state, drop your city and state. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Type a number 2 if you consider yourself to be a business owner. I'm going somewhere with this. I promise you. So if you consider yourself to be a business owner, you should know that the equipment that you currently have, you are limited to what you can currently do, right? The equipment that you currently have, you're limited. You're only going to be able to do so much with the equipment that you have. A lot of people end up saying, like I said, they end up listening to crafters or craft content creators who encourage them to do it yourself. Man, I want to talk about the DIY bug. You know, DIY wasn't intended for that, right? Yeah, sorry about that. I had to go to the door. Have a package coming in. But yeah, the DIY was never intended. I'm gonna say this as a business owner, and a lot of y'all ain't gonna agree with me, but the DIY was never intended for you to do this and sell. Did y'all know that? You can agree, you can disagree, but DIY was never intended for selling. Did y'all know that? San Francisco in the building. What's up? Latoria says that I'm trying to upgrade to that heat press. So let me ask you a question, Latora. I want to ask you a question. One, and this is not to discourage you or anybody else. But number one, where would you put your heat press? That's the first question. Where would you put your heat press? Hey, Marilyn, how you doing out of Augusta? That's number one. Where would you put your heat press? Two, something you need to know, that these heat presses are generally 220 or 200 to 240 volts. So that means that in your house, if you're working from your home, your house is 110, 120. So that means that you're going to have to get a professional electrician a professional. Let me clear this up. A professional commercial electrician or someone who understands 240 volts, because not all electricians understand 240, right? So this is 240. So now, before you guys go out there and get something that you don't have the demand for, once again, this is not me trying to discourage you, but this is realistic thinking. If you're not a business owner, and if you're not trying to build a market that's gonna have a demand for you to press wide, if you're just a crafter, and I'm gonna say it like I said, if you're only a crafter and you don't have the demand for large pieces of equipment, leave that to the people who do. That's not a conversation that people want to hear, because we turn on YouTube and we see our favorite craft content creator showing us how to do it ourselves. Okay. No, it works. I still press it. I'm not press it. You can leave right there. Leave right here. So a lot of people don't want to hear that. Had an electrician set up new box for 240. My garage, that's dedicated line. Yeah. That's another thing. Understanding electricity, knowing that it has to be dedicated. Most of your larger appliances are going to be 220, 240, like your stove, maybe your dryer or your hot water heater. All right. But those are in certain places, and those are hooked up directly to that box. But when you talk about you being able to do this because it's a hobby, I mean, if you got that kind of money to spend on a hobby, by all means, I'm with you. But I'm only with you when you're right. I ain't with you when you're wrong. Anyway, so we got outsourcing for these shirts, for the 3D shirts. And these are the graduation shirts. We got templates. These are the graduation shirts. We do front and back. Okay. So if you are a business owner, ask us about our business rates. If you are a consumer, just a regular customer, then we'll take care of you too. Okay. But if you're a business owner and you don't have the ability to do this, but you want to get involved in 3D shirts specifically for graduation and memorials, then you can outsource that to us. Okay. Or find someone you can outsource it to. Don't miss out on the money though. Positive thinking. I'm doing great, man. How you doing? Thanks for the input. I appreciate it. So, guys, if you haven't done so, drop that city and state. This is the blank spot. We're Sublimation Blanks and T-shirt transfer supplier. Today is Hump Day, guys. We got a deal just about every day of the week. Today we got a deal on our patches. Our patches are 15% off. Go to the site. Can't miss it. Go to the site, and you can scroll down, or you can just type in patches. No minimums. No coupon code needed, and you can get those patches 15% off. Okay, but we got all types of stuff, man. We sell single color screen print transfers, full color screen print transfers. Is that thing active, D? So we also just put a wholesale option for our single color screen print transfers. We just got a wholesale option that we put on this morning, that if you want to buy the transfers for less than $1 each, and you can mix and match, there's an option on there for wholesale. I think the minimum is 50, and you can do it every day. So for our single color screen print transfers, we got $1 screen print Thursday, and you got to wait till Thursday. But for the wholesale option, we dropped the price. So you get a better discount, you get a better deal, and you can get that every day. But the minimum order is 50. So there's gonna be some people out there that's gonna probably take advantage of that as well. That's gonna be an everyday thing, because we're gonna be moving towards more wholesale type options. Okay, just so y'all know, we're moving towards more wholesale type options. That means, this is what that means. Last year we had a whole bunch of people asking us how can they get better prices. Okay, so you know we're listening to people and we're changing some things up. Let's see. You saw that shirt? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this is our number back here. Yeah, this is our number back here. And somebody's available to talk to you right now. Let's see. I have designs I need printed. Yeah, so we've always, Mr. Pete, we've always done gang sheets. So we do have gang sheets available. Sublimation gang sheets. I'm sorry. Sublimation. Thank you, babe. Sublimation gang sheets. We've always done sublimation gang sheets. So if you're looking for sublimation, we have several different gang sheet sizes. You can actually go to our site, which is back there, and you can actually see if you have a question. Feel free to reach out to us, and we don't have a problem. Actually, if you go to the link in the description, Mr. Pete, there is a way to shop with our gang sheet. So go to the link in the description, and you can actually see that how to shop with us. Direct to film, print on demand services. I don't even mess with DTF, man. I don't even mess with DTF, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I don't mess with DTF. Because there's enough people out there. There's enough people out there that's doing DTF that we can outsource to. If we need DTF, most of our prints are full color screen print transfers. I'm glad you said that because there's a reason why. There's a reason why people hang around DTF so much. There's a reason why people do DTF. And it's because people want to get their picture. They want to get their picture on something, or they want to get something custom. And per the standards of DTF, it's cheaper to do. It's cheaper to do one transfer. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just saying. I know you're not asking. But that's the reason why we don't mess with DTF. The reason why we don't mess with it is because of that. It's a lot to babysit. If we had more employees available, then that might have been an option. But yeah, man, I think it's more than enough people out there messing up with DTF. Did you do DTF? Positive printer gear? I think so, Steve. I think that's the general consensus of a business owner that they're gonna save not just money but save time, because time is money. I think that's the one of the main things that most business owners don't get, especially if they're brand new. Most of them don't get that saving time is money. Let's see. I'm back on you. Positive printer gear. Do you do DTF? Let's see. What am I making? I'm not making anything. I'm talking about our business. So yeah, man. So I think DTF is a great opportunity, but for me, it brings the wrong type of. I think for us, not for you, for us, DTF brings the wrong type of crowd. That I don't want to deal with that type of crowd for DTF. Let's see. Now we actually ordered that one, Coach T. No, so we have sublimation, screen print, and then of course we have patches. But yeah, we don't do all of that because it kind of, another thing, it holds us to the house. There's nothing that I'd rather do than have my time. So, that's a whole nother conversation. Whole nother conversation. But yeah, man, I think it's enough. I think it's enough DTF. Once again, this ain't directed to you. I think it's enough people out there that's giving DTF a bad name by using these using these little knockoff printers. Using these little knockoff printers because they literally can't afford an actual printer. Of course, somebody gonna disagree with that too. You know what I'm saying? Somebody disagree with that as well. Let me see. Nah, we're not doing full color logos on. We haven't graduated to that yet. That's something that we're thinking about, but we haven't the only thing we do for full color is on Thursdays, they're 50% off. And I'm not sure if my wife is going to keep that going or not, but that's the only thing we have right now for full color. So if you're looking for a specific design, then what you can do is you can email us. This is the logos on. You can email us and we can actually give you a quote, let you know what the minimum is. We can give you a quote and then we can go from there. We'd be more than happy to do that. What we learned though, man, and this is for everybody. Yusuf, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on from the shy. Did I miss anybody? Laura says you're right. I won't buy a printer. I have a local DTF. Yeah, I mean, I'm outsourcing, man, if we need to, but I try to stay away from it. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? Yeah, I mean, you're doing the right thing. Positive printer gear. I think that there's just a lot of people out there that's, people just want to make money, man. People just want to make money, but they don't think about in wanting to make money. If you can't provide a good quality product for your customer, why would you mess with that process? See what I said in the beginning that some people miss, they're just getting on. The DIY bug has made it bad for a lot of business owners. I saw this guy showing people how to convert an 8550, or Epson 8550 to a DTF printer. Now, that was good for his business. He made a lot of money, probably still making a lot of money. But if you don't know about printers, you ain't gonna know that Epson 8550, number one, it's a photo printer. Number two, every print head is supposed to be made for the ink that it's supposed to be used for. So that means that 8550 is not going to be good enough to keep up. The print head is not going to be good enough to keep up with that ink because it's not made for that ink. But I mean, everybody got their own thing. Everybody got their own thing. All right, positive printing gear. Do me a favor. Don't send your information, man. Because remember, respect that it's a business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that ain't, you don't want to do that. That's cool, man. I know ain't nobody gonna see this. I usually don't have anybody on here anyway that's gonna respond to us. I mean, hell, it might get you some business because they're not looking at us. But yeah, man. So you gotta think about it. A lot of people are doing these, they're converting these printers because somebody convinced them that they can make a lot of money. But how you gonna make a lot of money if you ain't got no customers? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool, man. Y'all network with each other. Just ask that y'all don't share your links, okay? Networking is cool. We probably brought a lot of people together. But yeah, man. Let me see. But yeah, so the DTF bug, not the DTF, excuse me, the DIY bug was intended for crafters to learn how to do stuff themselves. It was never really intended. It was never really intended for people to take that and start a business. Now that's cool if you able to learn how to do stuff yourself and you're able to learn how to make a business out of it. But I think the part that kind of gets me is that people don't have the right equipment to do the right job. When I asked on our Facebook page, would you rather make shirts or make 3D shirts or sell 3D shirts? And I had all these people saying, hey, well, I'd rather make them and sell them. And my question to them is, well, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from making them and selling them? And I hope you don't believe the DIY hype. Hope you don't believe the DIY hype, because you can press an all over shirt on a small format printer, but it's going to be a small shirt. A lot of people don't understand that. When you're talking about pressing a shirt like this, you need a big print. If you don't have a big printer, you're not going to get a big print. So the DIY people said, hey, I'm going to show you how to splice everything together. That sounds good until you have them jailhouse lines in your print, right? So now what happens is you getting ready to try to sell some stuff to somebody, and you got checkerboards all over your garment because you're doing it yourself. Instead of hooking up with somebody that has a big printer that's going to give you one full print, right? The other thing of it is if you don't have a big press, that means that you're going to press it once, you're going to press it twice, you're going to press it probably about 6 to 8 times before you get that whole press. And with sublimation, it's different. Every time you press that image, it has to be the same pressure. And if you're using something that's spliced, where that line is, you have to understand how to overlap and also hope that the same pressure is going to take place on that overlap. So, a lot of people don't get that because you're listening to somebody who's telling you how to do it yourself. They're telling you how to do it yourself, but the DIY was totally intended for you to make stuff for yourself, not to make it and sell it. I mean, you do what you want to with it. But when you start thinking about sense and common, you're going to make people mad. And then when they come to us and they say, hey, well, you know what? I'm not going to outsource this to you because I've seen somebody's work online and their work wasn't too flattering. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of DIY people have made it challenging for actual business owners, because people have that side eye. They have that side eye look. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so either. But guess what? Guess what though? Positive Printed. I'm gonna say PPG. Guess what? The people who selling these digital classes are actually on social media, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, that's talking about DIY, that's making this money. They believe it's the way to go. And not just that, they're making money. They're making money off of the ignorance of people and also the desperation of people, right? They're making money off the ignorance and the desperation of people who want to make money but don't understand that doing it yourself is not always the best option. I'm finding my Sawgrass sublimation printer is an 8.5 by 11. It is. With the bypass tray of 8.5 by 14. It is. It is too small for larger prints. It is. So Crafts by Lori, if you want, we do offer sublimation gang sheets. Okay. You can order sublimation gang sheets from us. You can go to the link in the description. You can scroll down till you see gang sheets. Hit that link tree. You'll see our website. You can go scroll down till you see the gang sheets, and you can actually order gang sheets from us. Plus Crafts by Lori, it's gonna save you on your ink and your paper and your printer maintenance, because Sawgrass is a printer that stays on all the time. So it's constantly conducting checks. So it's running through ink like 90 going south. All right. So yeah, man. But you know, you can't tell people that you can't tell people something that they don't want to hear. Steve says sublimation is the best and cheapest, easiest way to go. Paper and ink, simple. No powder, no A and B sheets. No, yeah. The only thing about sublimation, though, Steve, I will tell you, is that if you get the wrong sublimation paper, you're gonna be buying twice. I don't know if y'all noticed yet. But y'all didn't see me put any type of butcher paper on top of my paper. Did y'all see that? I didn't place any butcher paper on top of my paper. You know why? Did y'all see that? I didn't put no butcher paper on top of my paper. Our paper don't bleed. So if you are going to do sublimation and you buy a paper and you got to put a cover sheet on top, then what's going to happen is you buying the paper, now you buying butcher paper, and your cost is more. Let's see. Do you have a template? What information do you need for the grass shirt? So real quick, if you want to do the grass shirt, Marilyn, are you in our group? Are you in our business building group, Marilyn? Before I answer that, yes, I thought so. So before I answer that, logos on you in our group, our business building group. So, Marilyn Henley is. I remember Marilyn Henley. She just recently joined. Matter of fact, she joined last Tuesday. Logos on. What's the name you would have signed up on under logos on? Let me see. Appreciate you, printed positive printed gear. Take care, man. Much success. So yeah, man. Sublimation paper, man. A lot of people buying this paper that they have to use butcher paper. Anybody out there doing sublimation? Type a number 3 in the comments if you're currently doing sublimation. I'm waiting on you, logos on. Marilyn, we got a deal for the people that's in our groups. You're gonna be getting the email here pretty soon, within the next 24 to 48 hours, about the graduation shirts. Okay, so if you're gonna be getting the email pretty soon. So number 3s that's doing sublimation. Do you use butcher paper over your transfer or parchment paper over your transfer? Type of number 4 if you do sublimation and you use butcher paper or parchment paper over your transfer. I'm trying to see something. Got a nah. You must be rocking with us. Princess, I know who you rocking with. So for all the people who said, yes, I do sublimation, and yes, I'm using butcher paper or parchment paper to keep the transfer from bleeding to the top of my heat press. What if you didn't have to use butcher paper? It's not a trick. It's not a trick. Everybody don't understand this, but using butcher paper to cover your transfer so it doesn't bleed. That's common. I talked about this yesterday. That's common. Pretty much everybody does it. But do you know why people are doing it? Because y'all using a subpar paper. So you were doing it to protect the top plate. So Crafts by Lori, what brand are you using? If you don't mind me asking. Because if you're doing it to protect the plate, that means the paper's bleeding. That means instead of it sublimating down here, it's sublimating up there. That's what sublimation is supposed to do. Hey, I'm just a messenger, man. I'm just a messenger. But is that what sublimation is supposed to do? Right, what's going on? So A-sub paper, and I want you to, next time you do sublimate, Lori, what I want you to do is, I want you to look at the paper. The reason why you have to protect your palette, your heat press, is because of the type of paper that you're using. If your paper didn't bleed, you wouldn't have to put any cover on there. I mean, now if you want to cover it just, to protect your substrate from burning, that's one thing. But the reason why you're putting a cover over your paper is because that particular paper, it bleeds back up to the press. Epson is bad too, yes. But you can't tell Epson that. Don't tell Epson that. I'm not making anything. Don't tell Epson that, okay? Don't tell Epson that is bad, because Epson, like a lot of other large manufacturers, they don't have a reason to improve their paper, Marilyn, Steve, Princess, Suzanne, excuse me. There's no need to improve their paper if everybody's going to buy it based off their name. If you and your craft buddies going to keep on buying, this is what A-sub is saying, right? A-sub saying if them crafters going to keep on telling everybody about us, and them crafting buddies going to keep on buying, then why should we improve our product? See, what you're doing is you buying A-sub paper for about $20, right? 8.5 by 11, you buying it for about $20. Then you got to go back online or in the same shopping cart. You got to add butcher paper or parchment paper, or you got to go to Walmart and get some. So you're not only just paying for the paper, you're paying for the blocker as well. See, A-sub knows that their paper bleeds. Epson know that their paper is weak and it bleeds. They know that. Are they giving you butcher paper to offset or compensate the bleed? Nah. So you got an extra expense when you buying that paper. So LNC Creation said, what's the best paper? Ours. Our paper doesn't bleed. And I'm going to show you right here. So just hang on tight. I'm going to take this down. And I'm going to show you that I don't use a cover sheet. It's not bleeding. And it's not y'all's fault. If you're using a paper that's not good, it's not your fault, because a lot of people didn't know. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. Once you hit our timeline, once you get in front of one of our lives, either me or my wife, and we start talking about our paper and how it doesn't bleed and how you don't need butcher paper, and you keep on using A-sub because it's cheap, you get what you get. It means that you like buying twice. Some people like buying stuff that they don't need. Some people like that. Some people buy because of name brand and popularity, not because of quality. Can't do anything about that, man. That's just how it is. Can't change the way people think, you know. What sublimation printer do I recommend? A sublimation printer, an actual sublimation printer. Not something that you're gonna convert. But it depends though. It depends. It depends. It depends if you're doing business or if you're crafting. Here's the funny part about that question that you asked me. When you ask what sublimation printer do I recommend, we sell sublimation printers, small format sublimation printers, right here at the blank spot. We sell Epson F170 sublimation printers right here. We got some in the back. But because it's a small format printer, a crafter is going to say, hey, I don't want that because it's too small. They're going to say, hey, I'm just going to convert a printer. And if you miss the conversation, the converted printers, although some of them work well, they're not made, their print heads are not made for the sublimation ink. Also, the images are going to be different. You won't be able to tell unless you compare it to another sublimation printer. So, you know, that's that. But most people don't want to hear that. So, guys, if you're just jumping on, today is Hump Day. It's Patch Wednesday, y'all. 15% off of our patches, our heat transfer patches. As we got all these people on the platform now, because I'm not directly selling. And probably because they see me doing something. Some of y'all probably feel a little bit entertained. Let me ask you a question. Ask y'all a question. Are you selling any graduation shirts? Type a number 5 in the comments if you're selling graduation shirts. Where my number 5 is at? Selling graduation shirts. Where my number 5 is at? Steve said, but wait, your paper is basically the same price as the other. Why not give it a try? I did. Yeah. Well, you know, Steve, that's a great point that you're making. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you think about it, Steve, our paper is actually cheaper. Our paper is actually cheaper than the other paper. Because you don't have to buy butcher paper to use our paper. So the purchasing is going to be cheaper. Let me see. So the thing about it, so you say you screen print. So do you actually have screen print machines in your establishment? Is that what you're doing? So definitely, man, let me see. I'm not following you. Hold up. I'm following you back. So I just followed you back. I'm going to reach out to you after the live. So here's the thing about the graduation shirts. These all over graduation shirts, we actually give a business-to-business discount on these shirts. We're doing front and back, okay? We use our own shirts. We use our own ink. We use our own paper. All right. Now, here's the thing. What's going to happen is there's going to be somebody in your network who's going to want graduation shirts. They're going to want 3D shirts. As a matter of fact, you won't be able to offer 3D shirts because you can't do them yourselves. We got to get that thinking out of our head, right? Get that thinking out of our head. Just because you can't do it yourself, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to offer it to somebody. That's what outsourcing is. Let's see, LNC Creations, they say they have screen print machines in their building. We don't do screen print. We sell screen prints. So we don't have a machine to make screen print transfers, but that didn't stop us from reselling screen print transfers. But you gotta kind of, after you meet people where they are mentally, then you gotta see if that person wants to elevate. And most crafters ain't trying to elevate. I just keeping it 100, y'all. Most people who are here, they're crafting. Most people who are watching, they want to know what you're making. Are you listening to what the heck I'm saying? Are you listening to the information I'm giving you? Not the crafters. So now, for everybody who's using paper that bleeds, I don't have anything on top of this. This is the transfer. That's the transfer. I have nothing on top of it. With confidence, because our paper don't bleed. That's what's going on. So for those of you who are using paper that you have to buy butcher paper, like Steve said, our paper is actually cheaper than the other brand, but it's actually cheaper than that because you're not required to buy something to protect your heat press. But I don't have a platform large enough to reach out. It doesn't matter how many advertisements and how many paid ads we do, it's going to still take time to reach out. That's why you got to find people who want to know. Some people are cool with using paper that they got to use butcher paper for. As a matter of fact, I was on yesterday and somebody said, hey, the next time I buy paper, I'm going to buy it from you. They didn't say, hey, I'm going to stop using this garbage and I'm going to start buying from you. Because what they fail to realize is, watch this. They purchased butcher paper or parchment paper. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. If they continue to use the same paper, they're going to keep on using up their butcher paper. If they buy our paper, they can use their butcher paper for something else. But the crafting mind says, or the consumer mind says, but I don't want to waste this. I don't want to lose this money because I've already bought the paper. We used to use A-Sub paper too. You know what we do with our A-Sub paper now? Write grocery lists on it. Write grocery lists on this paper. Grocery list. Because it's no good for us. I'm not about to change my whole business model. I'm not about to change my whole business model because we have this paper in the house. We actually moved on. We got a better product. So, everybody's not going to agree with that or understand it. I bet if I was to say, hey, I got some free paper right now, who wants it? I guarantee you a whole bunch of crafters going to be jumping on. Yeah, I'll take that A-Sub paper. Now, you can just go ahead and buy it and then make sure you buy you some butcher paper or some parchment paper. But that's what you're going to need. Hey, Pandora, what's happening? Beck, what's going on? So today is, messed that one up. Today is HuMpDaY. It is also Patch Wednesday. So patches are 15% off, no coupon code needed. 15% off, no coupon code needed. No minimum. Buy one or buy 101. Let's go. All right. If you're looking for quality sublimation paper, we have that as well. You can go and look on our website, check out our sublimation paper. We have all sizes. 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, 13 by 19. And then we have paper rolls. Now our paper rolls are tacky. 8.5 by 11, 8.5 inch paper roll and 13-inch paper rolls, they're tacky. Then we have a 24-inch paper roll for people who have a 24-inch printer. It's not tacky, it's dry. So yeah. Let me see. Yes, we did. We did get a manufacturing company to make our paper. The same thing that they could have did to improve their paper. Ain't that something he love? We took the money that we didn't have, we invested in ourselves, we bet on ourselves to make our paper better than the number one selling brand in North America. Eventually we'll get out. Eventually people will see us and we'll get out. Eventually people like you are going to share and sell out. So didn't mention that. So no, we don't. There's no need for us to sell the 36 or the 44-inch rolls because we use them to make our fans and we use them to make our all over shirt. So yeah, that's not gonna be in the works. Also, selling that paper, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You may Merlin, you may buy it because you may see the value in it, but it's just not a market for it for us because we don't find a lot of people who have these large format printers. It's not gonna be, not gonna be a market for it. I see people in crafting groups though all the time selling 44-inch rolls, and I got my thoughts about that. But anyway, if it's not making financial sense to us, we're not gonna be able to do it. It's gonna be a lot for shipping, and we know that a lot of people already don't want to pay for shipping. It's not a demand. If we had a group of people that had 44-inch wide printers, then we would really get into it. We know there's a lot of people who have the 24-inch printers, so we sell the 24-inch rolls. So yeah, but thanks for asking, appreciate it. So guys, if you didn't know, we are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier. Lots of things going on, man. Yesterday, we see on Mondays we got rhinestones for sale. On Tuesdays we got sublimation transfers for sale. Wednesdays, today, we have heat transfer patches for sale. And then, of course, tomorrow, we're going to be pushing out Thursday sales. I'm going to be back because I'm going to drop a video about our wholesale prices for our single color screen print transfers because I think that's going to be a game changer, especially for people who are actually business owners. I think it's going to be a game changer for them. But anyway, go check out the site. I know I dropped a lot of nuggets. I didn't get a lot of love. So hopefully, hopefully go to the site, check us out. Find something that you actually do that you can use. If you're currently shopping with a company that's selling you subpar sublimation paper and you're not quite sure if you want to make the transition, we do have what's called economy packs. So you can buy 20 sheets of our paper for a fraction of the price just to try it out. I think that'll be helpful. If you guys are looking for samples of the all over shirts, message us sample. I know you're talking about the shirts. Message us sample, and I will give you the information where you can actually order that sample. If you want to get into outsourcing 3D shirts to us for graduation and for memorials or for anything, let's see. It's the best way. If something doesn't work, well, I think it's the only way. It's really the only way. If something doesn't work, J&J, I'm not gonna see you. Once this live is over with, it's not gonna be kept, so I can't respond to it. So I need you to message us, okay? So after this, go to our messages, hit me up in my personal message, and then I'll hit you with the information. Let's see. Thanks for the information. Keep up the great work. Appreciate it. Going to try your paper. Me and my daughter are restarting our shirt business, and we're struggling to find good paper. Well, this ain't good paper, baby. This is great paper. This is great paper. We stand on this, okay? Once again, there's always going to be, thanks for the gift, there's always going to be somebody out there that does something just a little bit better. So if you guys are out there doing some type of work, always be looking for the better product, not just the better price, because price is not always going to be better when you get better products. But right here at this shop, this is what price meets affordability, and quality meets affordability. So you got to think about that. All right. Appreciate you locking in. Let me see. So I'm glad I'm not gone yet. So E-Love, that is not a such thing. Okay. I want you to think about this. Sublimation is only for, it's strictly for white or light colors. That's what sublimation is. They sell transfer paper to print on top of that has some type of poly coating or something for people who want to do. Bottom line is this: we don't sell any hacks. We don't sell any hacks. If you want to use our paper to print on top of vinyl, you can do that. If you want to use our paper to print on top of some type of HTV transfer to put it on a dark shirt, you can do that. But we don't recommend that stuff because we're not hackers. So sublimation, and go to our page and read our blog. Sublimation is an ink dye process that works best with 100% lighter color or specifically white polyester. There's no white sublimation ink in sublimation. Talking about, does it work on dark? Does it this? Does it that? People really don't understand sublimation, or they're trying to get sublimation to do what they want to do. Another reason why we're able to do stuff like this, because you can't do this with screen print. You can't do this with DTF. Direct to garment printers won't cover this large of a shirt space. So we're able to do this because we understand that sublimation is a process that works best with white, high polyester count fabrics. If not, then you're just kind of stabbing in the wind, hoping that something's going to work. Okay. But I would love to have that conversation. Go to the site. There's a blog that talks about sublimation, the 7 things that make sublimation work so great. Paper being one of them, ink, your printer, your substrate, temperature, time, and pressure. Those 7 things is what's going to make your sublimation better. Kilo, if you're trying to get a sample of the shirt, you're gonna have to message us. Once this live is gone, it's gone. Once it's gone, so I won't be able to respond to that. I'm not gonna remember who you are. So that's the one thing about TikTok, man. They don't let the live stay up. So go to our messenger and message sample if you want to get a sample of the shirt. Do you have time? T, money. Time for what? Time for what? If you guys want to contact us, that's our phone number. Though, do you have tone? Nah, we ain't doing none of that. We're a print shop. We're a print shop. Thank you. I appreciate you, Kilo. We're a print shop. We ain't over here. We're not over here. And it's gonna sound real. This gonna sound real stank, right? We ain't over here wasting our time trying to design for customers. We don't think we're better than anybody. We just ain't gonna do that. We're not designing. We're not doing all that. We're a print shop now. We're turning into a print shop. So, great question, because a lot of customers expect us to be all in one. We can print sublimation on site. We can actually order from our vendors, outsource things from our vendors. So, yeah. But we're not spending a lot of time doing a lot of useless work. We're not gonna do that. So that's not our business model. But anyway, let me get on out of here. Appreciate it. Go to the site, theblankspot.com. Check out our paper collection. Check out our ink collection, heat tape, our shirts, our transfers. Check us out. See what we can do for you. Like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. This was probably the most unproductive live that I've done in a long time, but we had some good conversations. So like I always say, when you know better, is when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. I see everybody at the top because there's too many people struggling at the bottom. Peace.